Hello, everybody, and I am back here in the Phantom Zone. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain and dashing good looking cowboy in all of YouTube entertainment today, Mr. General Zod. Welcome. Yeah, in case you guys are wondering, I got a new hat. This is I posted a picture of this on Twitter. This hat was given to me by Father Zod, so I know he looks at my streams. So shout out to you, Pops. Thanks for the hat. I think it adds character. I don't know. You guys can decide. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Today I'm gonna be talking about some things that I like, some interesting news, but also I'm gonna talk about some things. Uh, Hey, Pop Culture PB, I see you there. I'm also going to be talking about some things that make me quite salty, if you haven't noticed. Some things on Doctor Who, some things on Johnny Depp, and some other various stories. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a Wake Up with Zod, where I'm going to do a morning news show for all you guys, kind of bring you guys up to date with some articles and things that I come across. Plus, I work a god awful third shift. So, right afterwards, I'm probably going to do a morning show and then completely crash at the end of it. So, I'm going to get started in a little bit here, but let's see who we got in the chat. Let's see who is here. We have Lemon Pie. What's up, Lemon Pie? Peace. What's up? What's up? How are you? Pop Culture PB. What's happening? Uh, and yeah, I think I got everyone. So, okay. What's up, everybody? Today, I'm going to start off with a couple of things. I'm going to start off with the biggest thing that's coming out. So if you guys don't know, there's this little trial going on. There's this trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I know it's some kind of new and fascinating news there, right? Nobody knows about that Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Anyways, uh, there is a big trial between them that's coming up. And now the media has come out and said, Johnny Depp is done. His career is over. He's done. Amber Heard has put a nail in this man's coffin. He will no longer get any roles. And I explained this in a video previously. When Hollywood says someone's career is done, it's not whether or not they're done with us, the audience, but it's whether or not they're done receiving roles from these liberal political pieces of shit in Hollywood that think they make the world turn until their franchises and things that they destroy go under. Then all of a sudden they're kissing our ass, wanting our money. Sean B, what's up? Good to see you here. So when they say Johnny Depp's career is over, what they're really talking about, we're gonna do some code breaking. What they're talking about is not Johnny Depp's career is over as far as us fans are concerned. They mean Johnny Depp can no longer get a role with them. And you know what? Honestly, nobody gives a shit about these directors anymore. And when I do my podcast, I guess you can call it, on Saturday, we're going to tell you about why Hollywood is irrelevant and why they don't even matter anymore. And we're going to show you from back in the day to now and what the state of Hollywood really is. But that's a different show. For right now, if you want to know how bad Johnny Depp's career is, okay, first off, he has a movie coming out. Stevie J said what it was. I got to go and look it up. I'm really interested in seeing this movie. But now I want to read you guys an article. There's an article coming out that Netflix has decided to do a show. And not just any show. I'm going to preference this before I start this article. One of my favorite, I guess, gothic theme comedies ever is The Addams Family. I remember the old Addams Family. I liked the 90s movies, not so much the garbage animation movie they came out with. I thought that was crap. But most of the iterations I like. And Netflix has decided to greenlight a show with the writer Tim Burton. He will be writing and directing this show for a rebooted Addams Family, like a show. When I first got this, I thought it was a movie, but the movie apparently is separate. They're going to do a show on Netflix. And I got to say, if you guys saw my thumbnail, that's some of the art that they're toying around with. They're going to have Johnny Depp as Adam Gomez, or he's in talks, but him and Tim Burton go back. I think he's going to take the role. And they're going to have my girl, Eva Green. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Penny Dreadful fan. I followed Eva Green, most of her works from James Bond and Casino Royale, Sin City, all of that stuff. Love Eva Green. I think she is such an underrated actress. She's got a real fire and a real unique look about her, especially those eyes. And when I saw this poster, or what their conceptual art is they're thinking of, I was like, she looks better than the original cast members who've played Morticia. I think her and Depp would be an amazing chemistry. She's a very talented actress. We all know he's a talented performer. So I am super stoked. So I'm gonna read this to you guys. And you guys let me know what you think. Oh, Kathy, hey, what's up? Bonnie B, what's up? Margo, what's up? If I don't get to you, I'm not used to having this many people. No, but anyways, hi all. I'm gonna read this article, and then when I get done, you guys let me know what you think about it. So let's get started here. I'm gonna do some switcheroo magic and bounce back and forth here. Let me see. All right. So the first article I'm going to cover, I don't like to preference We Got This Covered because normally they're just a bunch of gossip mill, but this has been confirmed by Entertainment and a couple of other sources. So I'm going to read from We Got This Covered really because I'm lazy and that's the first thing that came up. But uh, yes, pop culture, I'm going to read. I'm going to try my best not to stumble over words. So hold on a second. Let me just get this article. So it says Johnny Depp reportedly talks to play Gomez in Tim Burton's Addams Family show. The working relationship between Tim Burton and Johnny Depp is almost symbiotic at one point. And there was a time when Batman director barely made a movie without the presence of the actor who he first cast as his second leading role in the 1990s Edward Scissorhands. Over the next 12 years, the eccentric duo would collaborate on further 7 features that would cover everything from biographical comic drama Ed Wood to the billion-dollar success of Alice in Wonderland via the lavish period musical Sweeney Todd, which I thought was excellent. However, Burton and Depp haven't worked on anything together since Dark Shadows, which I think for me was very unfairly panned. And as soon as it was announced that cinema's foremost purveyor of Gothic Family was working on an episodic reboot of the Addams Family, though Depp's name was obviously one of the first to come in mind. And now the latest rumors claim that he's running for the role, but it should definitely be taken with a grain of salt because the information is reportedly coming from sources close to Netflix, as yet to spin the beloved property's home. We know that the aforementioned streaming service are said to be putting together a lucrative package to secure the deal for the Addams Family. We've heard from other sources that Depp and Burton have had conversations about it, and while it may not be a while yet before we get an official confirmation, on this project on the former Grindelwald's calendar is an educational animated show where he voices a puffin based on himself. So finding time to schedule a shoot uh, on a prestige streaming exclusive under the direction of his own running buddy shouldn't be hard to manage. So yeah. Hey, what's up, everyone? How you guys doing? So, anyways, this is in early talks. It's in early development. Okay. They're putting together a package. Tim Burton's definitely on board, from what I hear. They are Netflix is big on taking chances with shows. They did the October Faction, which was a pile of trash. They did the Umbrella Academy, which was very unusual and a big gamble that people seem to like. It's going into its third season now. They've done things like the Kingdom, which I thought was the best zombie show to come out in recent years. They are willing to bet on foreign projects and things that are a little bit off the cuff, and they're putting together a lucrative package. Now, one thing about Netflix that I've always appreciated is they do not skimp on money. If they are intrigued or they want people, they will pay the extra buck to make at least the first season. Their deals tend to run 1 or 2 years unless a show is a breakaway hit. I know The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was an experiment that they did, and they signed it for like 3 years, and then COVID happened, and that show went ultra political. So they're stopping it now at the third season. But I think that Netflix would be a great home for an experimental project like this. And I want to highlight something. This is the kind of thing that actors are doing now, and especially in Johnny Depp's case, where let's be real, he's being blackballed here by Hollywood. A lot of actors have found success in switching over to movie roles. Kevin Costner, for years, has been hated by the industry for his conservative views, and he makes one of the most successful shows running right now called Yellowstone, which is one of my favorite shows. It's a brilliant piece of acting. It's Kevin Costner at his finest, and it really shows how great of an actor he is. Tim Allen faced tons of scrutiny because of his beliefs. So this isn't the first actor to jump ship and find success in other mediums. And I think you're going to see movie production companies dying and actors switching over to streaming services. Yeah, Sean B says, if another Addams family was made with Depp and Eva Green, I would prefer for it to be a movie instead of a streaming series. I can agree with you, but at the same time, I think that I would like to see a long running show because I would like to really get some character development. There's only so much you can do in a 2 hour movie. Although I can see it becoming a franchise with names like that. We need to send Zod his bandana to do aggressive negotiations. Thank you. I agree. Kamikaze Cobra, welcome. Zod, you're starting to look like one of those hill folks from The Hills Have Eyes. No, not quite yet. Good to see you here. Let me see if I could go back through and read some of these complex. I'm 100% canceling my sub if you don't take JD on Netflix as Gomez. I agree. I think this would be a big boost, and I think they're smart if they choose him. Let me see who else do it. Oh, spiritually empowered coaching. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Lemon Pie says, well, it's a classic case of the media trying to tell fans what they're supposed to feel or think because it's what they think. Exactly. I agree with that. A lot of what's coming out now is not being successful because these studios try to tell us what we want to watch, what we think, what our political views should be, what our world view is. Yes, Kathy. Energy drinks again. Yes. I always drink a lot of energy drinks. mainly because I work third shift, but also when I'm doing a stream, I don't like to bullshit. I like to get concise and right to the point. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm a little bit more blunt than most people. So so I need a lot of energy so I can talk fast, get to my points, and not fuck around with you guys, because I'm hoping that's why everyone comes here. I got a little bit of a spicier take on things, but I'm just being real to you guys. So thank you, thank you. I got the Western look today. It's a big hit with my Southern brethren. But anyways, yeah. So I'm super excited about this. I can see you guys are excited. Let me ask you guys something, and let me know. Do you think that if the Addams Family came to Netflix and they nailed a big writer producer, two, as far as I'm concerned, really big stars in the roster, would that make you want to stick with Netflix? Do you think this is a good marketing strategy? I think it's brilliant. Netflix for years is killing the competition. Susan, hey, good to see you here. Thank you and welcome. Um, I think Netflix is killing the competition because they're ahead of the curve. I mean, the first big movie that they did, they had Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner in, and it was called The Highwaymen. It was an excellent movie. They did a movie with Chris Hemsworth called Extraction, which I thought was a great movie too. They did one with Ryan Reynolds. They had Ben Affleck and a bunch of people too in one. I think it was something eight. I haven't seen it. Um, I think that this is a great marketing strategy. I think this is why Netflix is the leader. Like Amazon is starting to catch up. Disney's a bunch of trash. CBS All Access can kiss my ass. And the rest of the streaming services are just trying to fight to be on top, right? The only thing CBS All Access has done of any worth is get the old catalog, just like Disney. Their new original content is garbage. Star Trek Discovery is trash. Picard is trash. The Twilight Zone reboot is a political pandering bunch of nonsense. Lower Decks is garbage. There's nothing good on these streaming services. And then you have Amazon that has a good show here and there. I like the High Tower and things like that. But on the whole, these companies aren't being competitive because they're not thinking outside the box. And if I was Depp, I'd do this show. And, a lot of people are making comebacks from going on to streaming services. I mean, look at Woody Harrelson. He went from doing Netflix original movie to being in Venom, the sequel. And I mean, Venom, the original, did $1 billion in the box office, mainly Tom Hardy. But picture Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson in a movie, Venom and Carnage, that's going to be spectacular, pun intended. So, I mean, that's my first bit of news. I'm glad to have something good come out of the Johnny Depp quarter. I think we're being berated by a lot of garbage articles. There's a lot of rumors that his career is over. Amber Heard. Yes, I do wash trash. I do it for you guys, so you guys don't have to, Mr. Sarcastic PB. I think that this is a good start, and I think that there's a lot of things that Hollywood is going to be putting out that's not going to do well. Box office wise, look at the box office. I checked the numbers, and Stevie mentioned how I stay on top of them, right? The number one movie so far was Freaky, and it was a horror movie. Just imagine that, folks. How how many years has it been since there hasn't been a major blockbuster where a smaller movie with a lower budget took the box office? That's crazy. That's like, and the money that it made, it's a $5 million movie, and it did 1.3 million in its opening week. Normally, horror movies make their money back in the first weekend or two, and it took it a while to recoup its money. And it's a $5 million movie. Now, picture the $200 million movies, the $150 million movies that are coming out. None of them are going to recoup their money. Black Widow I'm excited and looking forward to that. But that's not going to make its money back. Wonder Woman, it's criminal that they're going to put that on streaming. I mean, it's smart by HBO Max, but that movie's not going to make its money back. And all these analysts that think that they can make their money from streaming, they are seriously disillusioned. Like, streaming is graded and rated and does money differently. They pay an overall fee, but they don't see a return on that. Everything a movie gets back is box office numbers. It's how many people view it, how many people see it. All of these projects in Hollywood are going to lose a mass amount of money. And treating your top stars like shit is not going to get people to return back to theaters. Okay. All of these articles coming out about Chris Pratt and all of these things coming out about Johnny Depp is having people lose faith in the industry. And it's not going to inspire them to spend money, especially when you have COVID still around and people nervous about that. You're not encouraging people to go out and spend their money. Why should they? Why do I want to go out and see movies that I've already seen? That's basically what's out. And Hollywood keeps on pushing back their big blockbusters, and they don't have the guts to take any chances. They don't want to release a big movie because they're afraid it's not going to do well. And that means people aren't going to spend money, which means theaters are going to continue to be shut down. It's a big vicious circle. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this if you're excited. My next topic of discussion I have, if you guys don't know, I am a Doctor Who fan. I've been a Doctor Who fan for a while, but I have not been a fan of Doctor Who in these recent years. Now, if you don't know, Doctor Who got the worst doctor in the history of doctors and actress. Oh, God. She is the most condescending, snarky, disgustingly politically motivated piece of shit that I've ever seen on television. Her name is Jodie Whittaker. She is the worst doctor ever. And the show, hey, what's up, Stone Cold Jeremy? The show has gone downhill. It's become political trash that spits in the face of its fans. And there's an article that I want to read to you because now we're supposed to give a shit because Doctor Who has a holiday special and two of the big four are going to be leaving the show. And I want to set this guy up for you guys. Why do I care about a person who comes in an interview and says she doesn't even care or know anything about the Doctor Who lore? I mean, it's disgusting. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. I agree. Said, yes, Doctor Who. I loved it forever until Jodie Whittaker. She is the most hollow. Like, she makes Brie Larson's acting in Captain Marvel look like an Academy Award-winning performance. Every episode I've seen her in, she's got this wooden, stale, dumb look on her face. No acting range. And the characters are so hollow and uninteresting and boring. The storyline is generic. And to be honest with you, I think the special effects got worse. Yes, David Tennant was one of my favorite doctors of all time. And yes, I am furious. There has been an episode, the season final. I think it was called The Child or something like that. This was the worst final, not only in Doctor Who, but I think in the history of television. And I thought Game of Thrones was bad. Like, the Game of Thrones final pissed me off. But this was the worst final I have ever seen in television history. Tara J. Hey, welcome, Tara J. She says, hey guys, this is my first General Zod stream. Please be gentle. How is everyone? At General Zod. Great to finally catch you after your live stream with at Stevie J. Raw. Sorry I'm late. Welcome, Tara J. Good to see you here. And don't worry, everyone here is a fun-loving group. You'll see someone berate me. That's my boy, Pop Culture PV. You can see him berating me in person on our late night talks. which we do a review on The Mandalorian every Friday. But welcome, Tara J. Great to have you here. We're a fun-loving crowd. But anyways, Doctor Who used to have substance. It used to talk about deep, overarching themes. It used to make you think. It was one of the greatest pieces of sci-fi, um, you know, shows ever made. I mean, it's up there with Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, the OG Star Trek, all of that for me. And it's a long-running show. And in 2 short seasons, they destroyed a legacy's worth of work. So let's learn about the Fab Four. Jesus Christ, the fucking Fab Four. Like, this show's so fucking terrible. Okay, I'm gonna read this article um about the Fab Four. They're losing 2 of the companions I never gave a shit about in this next holiday episode. So let me just do a quick read for you guys, and we'll go through this nonsense together. Okay, so this comes to us from Gizmodo, and it says Doctor Who's holiday special will mark the final episode for 2 companions. Dun dun dun! The Fab Four are no more. Doctor Who's stars Tashin Cole and Bradley Walsh, who've played the companions Ryan and Graham, that I can't even fucking remember who they are, for the past 2 seasons, have confirmed that they are set to depart the Tartarus after the upcoming New Year's holiday special, which I'm sure no one will watch. In an interview with BBC Studios, the biggest pandering pieces of shit ever, Cole and Walsh revealed that revelation of the Daleks will be their final episode of Doctor Who, confirming a long-standing rumor that the 2 Jodie Whittaker's 3 companions would be leaving the series, leaving only Mandip Gell, who plays Yaz, that no one cares about. Walsh called their final turn as Doctor companions sad and poignant, both actors nodding to how much they've loved being a part of the iconic sci-fi series, which is being destroyed by them. I'm sorry, I ad-libbed that. Especially since their time on the series featured the first female Doctor, the brave and stunning Jodie Whittaker. Cole, in particular, noted how much he'll miss the fandom that hated him so much. It's been an honor to work with such a cultural industry, with fans across the world. The people like me on the screen come and go, but it's the people behind the scenes, the fans, that will always be keeping the Doctor world alive and exciting, he said. Whittaker also confirmed the news, saying she was devastated to lose Cole and Walsh as co-stars. On a personal note, absolutely devastated. Both of them had carried me to my trailer. I haven't cried like that for such a long time. Brad couldn't cope with it at all. Tashin was like, I really can't cope with you getting this upset. As of now, it's unclear whether Doctor Who will return to its more traditional pattern of 1 Doctor, 1 companion, or if the cast members will be added later in the series. But for now, we will be sad but sweet goodbye to one of the show's greatest father-son teams. Doctor Who's Revolution of Daleks arrives January 1st, 2021. In addition, the series is entering production for the 13th season and set to have 8 episodes. I just want to know something. I want to know who the hell is watching this show right now? How the hell did this piece of trash show enter its 13th season? Can anyone answer this question? Because as far as I'm concerned, I know great people who cover this. Gary from Nerdrotic, a couple of other great YouTubers. Sorry, that glare is terrible. I know a couple of people who cover this series. This series hasn't been good since Jodie Whittaker, and the ratings have bottomed out to an astronomical low. Who in the hell is watching this show? Who is the show even made for anymore? Okay, the season final for the last season implied that the doctor was this little girl who got tortured over and over again by her mother. Keep that in mind, by her mother. And it's supposed to say that the first doctor ever was a female doctor, thus destroying the whole male line of doctors that have come before it. And why I chose to do this article, because it all relates to what's going on with Johnny Depp and Hollywood in general. They want to erase all of the male roles from Hollywood. So they systematically destroyed one of the greatest series of all time and a legacy to prove that it's always been a strong, powerful female doctor in charge. And the brave and stunning Jodie Whittaker has such a long line of strong empowerment. It's ridiculous. Does anyone else like this crap? Do you guys, as like-minded and pretty sensible people, enjoy this garbage? And welcome. Let me read some comments because I got quite a few comments here. What's up, guys? Yeah. Bring back Tenet. Yes. I was nodding furiously. Tara J says, okay. I read that. Let me go down. I hid behind the couch as a kid in the 70s. Okay. Let's see. Geekicidal Tendencies, welcome. Good to see you here, buddy. Geekicidal Tendencies says, what did you just call Gary the Beard great? Need what you smoke, Zod. All right. Captain Jack, Doctor Who, best duel ever. Captain Jack from Torchwood. Yes, Jack Harkness. Love Torchwood. That was like my favorite spinoff. Yes, Curtis, welcome. We talked about that. Eva Green is hot. I can't wait. I hope that happens. Netflix, make it happen. Give them whatever money they want. But anyways, yeah, this is a symptom of what's going on with Johnny Depp, and it's all a circle, right? Hollywood is systematically destroying the male roles. And you know what? They are insulting the female roles, because if you look at Doctor Who, they don't give their female characters any depths or layers. One of my favorite female protagonists of all time is Ellen Ripley. I love Aliens. If you guys don't know, on my playlist, I have a 200th anniversary celebration for Alien. I did a watch along with Mary Mayhem, and she'd never seen Aliens. And to see the reaction of someone who's never seen that movie, remember, this movie was made in like the 80s, and she was screaming on stream during parts. I mean, we're all adults, and she's screaming bloody murder when the alien pops out and jumps on the guy's face. I mean, that is some classic good writing. And Ellen Ripley didn't have to put down her male counterparts to be a badass. She just was. Her character was well written, and everybody loved her. Sarah Connor in Terminator 1 and 2, especially in T2. One of the most well-written and developed characters, because you saw her from becoming this meek waitress and scared. Yeah, thank you, Geekocidal Tendencies. I was wrong. 79. Jesus Christ, the original Aliens was 79. Just think about that. And it's so iconic, right? So, I mean, when you think about these characters, they have an arc and an evolution. Now, what's Jodie Whittaker's evolution in Doctor Who? She comes out of nowhere and is the Doctor. She has a magical screwdriver. I don't know what the hell that is. And it does everything. And everything in the story is plot convenience. The companions are not companions. They're jokes. Literally, their whole cast, besides Jodie Whittaker, is there for humor. She puts them down, and the audience puts them down, and it props her character up. Or that's the idea, right? And that's not good writing. That's poor, shitty writing. And it shows that these directors and these writers don't know how to write a script. So they have to put down characters to prop up their main character. And this is a running theme in everything that you watch. People can't write. They don't know how to write a story, so they have to degrade and demoralize a certain group in order to make their hero seem like they're this awesome, perfect person. And it's unrealistic and terrible writing. Um, Bonnie B says Doctor Who was going downhill with Matt Smith. Moffat got a bit much with the writing. I like Russell T. Love, Neil Gaiman, sorry, but who hey, who am I? Yep, exactly. They don't like to prop up these other great actors. I mean, David Tennant to me was the best Doctor. I also followed him on Jessica Jones and various other things that he did. He had an intensity and a subtlety, and especially in Jessica Jones, where he switched to a villain, he was such a great villain. But I mean, it's just that's the kind of acting talent that we're missing these days. And people like Amber Heard and Jodie Whittaker and Brie Larson and let me see, let's trying to think of another actress who sucks that gets props. There's quite a few of them out there, but they get these roles, and I swear to God, they're told, okay, if you want to be serious, you got to look pissed off all the time, right? And you got to put down those males because they're white males, and don't let the patriarchy tell you what you need to be. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I mean, this is why I cover all aspects of this, because it's not just this Johnny Depp thing, it's acting in general. The feeling for a long time since 2016 has been this feeling that they want to start propping up females, but Hollywood doesn't know how to do that. So in turn, they've marginalized the group. They've put them down, and they put us in these roles that make us look like dumb, bumbling idiots. And, really, it's hack writers. Who are half of these people who write this shit? I don't know any of them. Half of these people who are writing stuff are all like, fresh out of college. They've been programmed by the system. They enjoy safe spaces and all of this other nonsense that we hear about. And that's where you get the shitty writing from, because they're told, oh, it's okay. And look at all of this racism going on. And look at all these males being held down and wage gaps and all of this nonsense. And it bleeds through to the arts. Instead of making something creative and thought-provoking now, they're trying to always make a political statement and a statement about something socially impactful and all that nonsense, right? And you can do that. Star Trek did that. Movies have done that. Blade Runner did it. Any great sci-fi horror movie has made some kind of subtle underlining statement. There's tons of movies about a dystopic future and things like that. You can do that stuff without having to put down someone and having good writing. Let me read some of these comments. We have Bonnie B says Princess Leia was badass without forcing it. Pun intended. That's pretty funny. Margot says life is more terrifying than fiction. Very true. Carolyn, welcome, says they're turning actors with D-lister skills into A-listers. Absolutely. It's all about the narrative they've spun. I agree. Geekocidal Tendency said, when did entertainment stop being entertaining? Facts. Blade Runner, yes, great stuff. And yes, Blade Runner is a 10 out of 10. To me, that is one of Rutger Hauer's greatest performances. I love him, but that performance is so haunting. Never have I seen a movie that makes you think about how AI and robots and things like that could actually be people. I think the movie asked a lot of interesting questions, and it flipped the narrative. Like, who's the real monster? The synthetics or man? Man could be the greatest monster. And the director did all this without having to shove politics in our face. He didn't have to come out and show all of these terrible things. It was the setup. It was the backdrop. It was what Rutger Hauer was fighting for, the complexities of his character. his opposite, Harrison Ford, and even some of the lies that he goes through and the truths that he finds out about himself maybe being synthetic. These were things that didn't have to get force fed to us. They assumed you were intelligent enough to make the leap. And that's the problem with the entertainment today. People don't want to use their mind. They don't want to explore. They don't want to ask questions. And, when we prop up things like Fast and the Furious and things like that, and don't get me wrong, I like Fast and Furious, but when we prop up these simplistic movies, we tell Hollywood that that's the way everyone thinks. And they start churning out all of this garbage that force feeds you all of these plots and these simple threads and this nonsensical garbage. And it's gotten worse and worse over the years. I mean, look at Jurassic Park. That's a great movie. I love that movie. It's made with animatronics, and it asks questions about bringing back an endangered species. And, should we bring something like that back? Is it extinct for a reason? It questions humanity and science and our exploration and how we always want to explore and discover new things. And, are we playing gods when we do that? These are the things that are missing, and it's why Hollywood is going the way it's going. And they're too busy with politics and destroying good people to see that they're failing their audience. They're not losing sales because we're all a bunch of misogynistic jerks who hate women in lead roles. They're losing us because they're treating us like we're petulant children, and everyone is sick of it. And I could see by the responses and the comments here that you guys agree. I mean, you guys are being tired of being fed this nonstop bullshit from the media and told what you should feel. And the biggest example is with Johnny Depp. The more they tell people how horrible he is, the more people support him because they see the truth. And people can think, and they can use their logic, and they can see evidence and know the truth. Because as much as they want to cover up the truth and the facts, they're the ones responsible for this. They're the ones who created this division. And the funny part here, I have some females in the chat here. Females don't feel this way. I'm sure you guys are tired of a corporation telling you how you're mistreated or expecting you to have these female roles. And the message is reversed from what they want to get out there, right? They're saying that a female has to be this strong, powerful person who puts down everyone, who acts like a man. That's, to me, is such a conflicting message. What happened to the playing to your strengths, being who you are, and that being the thing that defines you? What happened to that? What happened to exploring human nature and the best and the worst parts of us? They don't want to do that because they have to look a light into their own dark corners. All right, I got a little deep there, so I'll go to the next article. Speaking of garbage, the next article that I want to talk about is a sad corner of the DC universe, I don't like to admit, but I want to talk about Birds of Prey. Now, when it didn't do well, they blamed the males. They said a bunch of misogynistic guys didn't want to go and see it. And I'll be honest with you, not only did I see it, I probably gave it a more fair review than it deserves. But one of the actresses has come out and said how she was so sad and so angry because there's ageist jokes. Okay, everybody in the comment, is being ageist a thing? I've never heard of this word until this article. I did not know that if you make jokes about older people, it's ageist. I never knew that was a thing. Apparently, you can be a sexist and an ageist now. I don't know. Got me, but I'm going to read this article because it's hilarious. And these are people that are, downing their own roles. So Rosie Perez didn't like the ageist jokes in Birds of Prey. First of all, Rosa Perez is a horrible actress. I never liked any of her stuff, and I think her Renee Montoya was garbage in that film. She really didn't have much of a role. But anyways, Though she would be happy to return to the role of Renee Montoya, which won't happen, they're not going to do a second Birds of Prey. She admits she didn't like the ageist jokes in Birds of Prey. Rosie Perez was less than impressed with the ageist jokes found in DC's movies Birds of Prey. As a result of the coronavirus pandemic, Birds of Prey managed to be one of the few major studio films that debuted in theaters earlier in the year. It rolled out early February, and though it stumbled to considerably at the box office, Birds of Prey was generally well received from fans and critics. No, it was not well received from fans. Critics did, because it was a bunch of SJW nonsense. But anyways, directed by Kathy Yen, who is talentless. The latest DCU installment was R-rated and picked up with fan favorite character Harley Quinn, led by Margot Robbie, after her breakup with the Joker, Jared Leto, and she reclaims her independence. And the original name was Birds of Prey: The Emancipation of the Fantabulous Harley Quinn. So, good God. The empowering, oh, Jesus Christ, the empowering arc led by Harley to the titular Birds of Prey, who at the start of the film had not yet formed, ultimately which Birds of Prey centered on Harley as an opposite to or opposed to the team, but fans still responded warmly to the newest DCU characters. Wow, these people really are kissing this movie's ass. Birds of Prey featured Huntress Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is criminally underused, Black Canary, and Renee Montoya. Montoya is the detective for Gotham PD and was overlooked by her male co-workers in leading with a breakthrough. Perez recently spoke about Birds of Prey in a new interview with Uprocks. The actress was first asked if she would be interested in returning to Birds of Prey 2. She would, but she went further and shared her biggest gripe with the first film, the ageist jokes made at her expense. Because, in a comedy movie, you can't have jokes. I mean, if it happens, sure. When you said that, the first thing that came to mind was, oh my God, I have to lose weight, get into shape again. Hopefully, there won't be ageist type jokes in it as well. Having me called grandma, that was the only thing I was like, really, guys? Really? I was like, would you have the nerve to say that to Helen Mirren in her 50 million action movies? It's not surprising Perez would take issue with these kind of jokes. Birds of Prey was lauded for its representation of women, the LGBTQ community, and characters of color. Renee offered her own brand of representation since she was the oldest member of the group. However, by making cheap jokes about her age, Birds of Prey didn't give Renee the same positive depiction as it did with other characters received. Granted, a few jokes don't translate to a completely botched portrayal, but it clearly stung Perez. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say about that. The movie is known for its representation. I can't even put into words, first off, how fucking stupid that article was. But secondly, how they praise this movie for being the greatest in representation in the LGBTQXYZ community and people of color, and Rosie Perez being the oldest. The problem with Birds of Prey was all of that crap that was in the movie. Instead of focusing on the plot, they threw in Harley Quinn because no one knew who the hell the Birds of Prey were, and they felt like they needed someone. And then Harley Quinn took away from the rest of the people. I mean, I honestly don't remember most of them except for Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and that's because I actually like her. I mean, you know, and you're upset because they called you grandma in a film that has jokes. This is why Todd Phillips got out of making movies that are comedies and went and did a masterpiece like The Joker, because people can't take a joke anymore. Actors and actresses who get paid to play a role where you'll get made fun of or have to do something kind of crazy because it's part of the script, they can't get their feelings hurt anymore because, oh my God, someone younger than me called me grandma and I'm part of this team. Well, you're older and you're with a group of younger women kicking a bunch of male ass and they called you grandma. I mean, the joke lands for me. That doesn't detract from the character. That's supposed to create a sense of camaraderie amongst these people. Like, this is ridiculous. Why are we making an interview about this? What? This is why no one takes these magazines seriously. Someone could come out and be like, they called me old. I'm so offended. And look, Helen Mirren, comparing yourself to her, Rosa Perez, really? You don't even have 1/10 of the acting talent as Helen Mirren. And I've never heard her come out and bitch and complain about a role. That's why you don't hear people calling her that kind of stuff, because she's an actress and she knows how to act. And she knows if it's written in a script that there's a joke about her age, she's not going to go in the middle of a magazine or, one of these stupid Jimmy Kimmel shows or something like that and go, oh my God, did you hear what they said about my age? I'm so offended because I'm old and I'm acting and I'm with young actresses and they made a joke about my age. Oh my God. For humor. This is ridiculous. Why are you even printing this? Up rocks? Do you have nothing else going on in the pandemic world that you have to talk to this self-righteous, pretentious bitch about how she feels so slighted about one joke in a movie that was subpar at best? I mean, yes, that's where Johnny is amazing and invents his own character. Exactly. I agree. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't understand why people can't take jokes anymore. Like, Margot here put, do you guys not have to get into shape? I agree. She makes a joke about, or she makes a gripe about having to get into shape for a role. I don't like Terminator Dark Fate whatsoever. But when Linda Hamilton returned, she still looked like she was physically able to do the role. And I'm sure at her age, she still had to have some kind of workout regimen in order to do some of the stuff she did in that movie. And from what I hear, she did some of those stunts herself. I didn't see her going, oh my God, I have to play this iconic role. And I got to work out. Like, I mean, Brie Larson had a body double in Captain Marvel. And then she puts out this bullshit video about how she pushes a Jeep. And it's on level ground. Like, I mean, these new actors and actresses are so ridiculous. And then look at what Chris Hemsworth is doing for Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, I have no interest in this movie, but the man is lifting a fucking tire every day, one of those big tractor tires, and he looks like he could rip off your head if he's having a bad day. And I don't see Chris Hemsworth going, oh man, they're giving me this $1 billion role in the new Thor, and I got to work out and I got to get physically fit. Oh my God, I hate this acting thing so much. These fans expect me to look like, the God of Thunder because that's the character I play. Oh man, this sucks. This is so terrible. Did any of the other Avengers have to get fit? Why are they making jokes about me looking like the Big Lebowski in Endgame? This is nonsense. Damn, I hate being an actor. I mean, that's what it sounds like. This is the most ridiculous thing that I have heard. If you don't like getting in shape, if you don't want people to make fun of your age, here's a novel idea. How about you not take the fucking role? How about that? Or you read the script and go, this isn't for me. And what was the stuff in the article about inclusive and empowering? I mean, these people from that movie, they picked up all of the representation. You know why the critics liked it? They liked it because it was all this representation, colorful, weird, empowering nonsense. For me, the plot was all over the place because of the fact that it detoured because of the nonsense they put into it. It made the movie very unfocused. But for the critics, it was a masterpiece. It was this bold thing. And this is the problem with these people. You cannot please these kinds of people because when you give them an inch, they take 3 miles. When you give them a female director with an all-female cast, with all of this other nonsense and these check boxes, they will never be happy because they have this victim card that they play nonstop, and they'll just keep on playing that card every time they see something in a script that they don't like. It's become this bitch fest, and it's really irritating to me to see this. I mean, and this is why they want to get rid of people like Johnny Depp, Kevin Costner, Chris Pratt, because they are real actors. They don't care about what's in the script. They care about bringing the character to life because they're masters of their craft, and they care about the work that they put in to provide you and me with good entertainment. I mean, they might make some deviations. They might make some suggestions, but they don't sit here like prima donnas and bitch and complain about it. So let me go up to the comments. I'm sorry, I went on a rant there. Let me go up to some comments and see what I've missed from you guys, because you got some great comments here that I've been reading. Let's see. It's known for it. LOL. Let's see. He's really funny. I only watch him. Hilarious. Bonnie, I may get to Sunday, Margot. That's where Johnny is amazing. He invents his own character. I agree. She knows she's an actress, not a soap speecher. Yep, I agree with you, Bonnie B. Let me see. Ginger 67. No, both men and women are human. They both have blood that runs through their veins, breathe oxygen, feel pain. So sick of it all. I agree. I thought this movie was known for its inexclusiveness. Why they being mean to girls? Good point. Let me see. Trying to just get to all of your comments. What does it even mean to be empowered? I agree, Carolyn. What is empowerment now? I mean, really, what makes these people happy? What is going to be their perfect empowered female? Because right now, every time they do a role and it's panned, they always blame other people. So I agree with that statement. Let me see. And Body B. Okay, good. I've been trying to follow along with you guys. Keep up. Thank you. So yeah, I had to read you guys that article because it made me quite salty. I'm a huge DC fan, but I hate this stuff that's bleeding into my universe because you have a split in the DC. You have good stuff like Todd Phillips' The Joker. I liked Wonder Woman. I liked Aquaman, not because of Amber Heard. I liked it because of the director, and I liked the visuals, and I liked that they made Aquaman somewhat cool. But you have DC doing these two different kinds of things, and they're in direct conflict with each other because you go from doing Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and then you do Joker, and then Birds of Prey. It was terrible timing, and it was so off, like Captain Marvel in the MCU lineup. Like, that movie didn't fit in with what they were doing in that phase, but they just shoved it right in there just because. Thank you. I do feel like the ultimate empowered woman. Anyways, empowerment I do agree with you, Curtis. Empowerment should be a self-provided sense to confidence and inner strength, not a reason to cry and complain. I absolutely agree. Uh, the DC universe and all of its properties have built into it a good story, and you don't have to tweak and change it. A lot of comics, I've been reading comics since I was a kid. A lot of DC and Marvel had messages in them that weren't forced. Look at the X-Men. The X-Men is the biggest political message ever. So well done and so captivating because Stan Lee didn't have to shove it into your face. Stan Lee made a groundbreaking book about the differences of people and how we fear what we don't understand. And he gave his characters powers, but it really was a nod and a nudge to racism and biases, right? But he did it with superheroes and people fearing and hating and not liking them because of things they couldn't help, because they were genetically born differently. That one in itself has your themes right there. You're talking about superpowers. You're talking about um, racial divides. You're talking about people fearing things that are bigger than them. There's so many themes that Stan Lee put in there, and he didn't have to come out and say, "This book is the most diverse book ever because I have a strong, powerful female, and I have an African American here, and I have a bald guy in a wheelchair. So look at me, I'm making a powerful book." He didn't have to say that. He wrote his stories, and we as logical people got the message. There was so many themes in the books that they could use, and it's all right there. And these writers are so talentless and so one-dimensional that they feel they have to blatantly point it out because subtlety is dead. You can't make a movie with nuance anymore because then critics don't get it, or they look at Battle Angel Alita. Okay, that was one of my favorite cinema made movies recently. Right, you had Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron, who I love. James Cameron, give or take a couple of things. I hate Avatar. Anyways, that's not the point. You had Battle Angel Alita. That was a strong, powerful female character. Look at her arc in that movie. And yes, we've seen the Amnesia arc 1,000 times, but they show her training. They show her lose. They show her go through these trials. They show her essentially in the middle of the movie lose a pretty big battle, right? She doesn't just win. There's emotional and there's physical loss in that movie. And at the ending, she loses her boyfriend, who she literally takes her heart out for. But I mean, right there, that movie was so great. And the dynamic between her and her father was absolutely brilliant. Okay. Because despite her being a robot, he still loved her for who she was. And it also raised the question of her being more human than these augmented humans, or even that one guy who was ripping off the cybernetic parts there. She was more humane than half of the human characters in that movie. And it was a statement about humanity versus AI, and about loving and accepting people, and about her discovering who she is and coming into her own and evolving and then going off on her own. And really it was a father-daughter relationship, and I have a daughter. And it really showed how daughters come into their own, and their fathers have to let them grow up and discover their own way. And by the end of the movie, she discovers what she wants to fight for, who she wants to be, and her father has to learn to let her go and go about and do her own thing and discover her own strengths and weaknesses. It's such a layered story. And yes, the movie does have faults, which I pointed out. Me and Stevie J did a review. You guys can check that out. But the movie really shows a great contrast. And it's such a great awesome movie because of the themes. And yes, the movie had faults and there were some gaps in the storyline, but a lot of people were able to overlook that to see this really well developed character with huge eyes. So I mean, that was the first time I'd see a CGI character that was so well developed and felt like an actual living, breathing person. That is how you make an empowered female, not bitching and complaining about how you were insulted because you're the oldest cast member. So maybe all of you people need to take notes. So anyways, moving along. Let me see. I'm just going right through. I want to talk to you guys about my last article of the day. And this is really personal to me because I'm a DC fan and I'm a Josh Whedon fan. And what they're doing to Josh Whedon is a prime example swinging back around to what's being done to Depp, to Chris Pratt, to all of these other people. If you guys don't know, Josh Whedon has been under fire because supposedly, and I say rumored, because Ray Fisher has not brought an ounce of evidence to the contrary, nor has cast members. But anyways, supposedly on the set of Justice League, Josh Whedon berated Ray Fisher because, he insulted him and he treated him poorly because of his race on set, and that he cut out scenes of his character because it was an all racially motivated thing. And first off, to preface this, a lot of things were cut from Justice League, and it had nothing to do with Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon just cleaned up the story. It was really cut because of the studio. There was a direct studio interference from, oh my God, shocker, WB, and they didn't want certain things in there. They had a lot of oversight, and things got left on the cutting wood floor. Well, now everyone has gone on and berated Josh Whedon about this and are claiming that he is racist and all of this other stuff. And so I'm going to read to you guys this article because now he was supposed to do a show I was interested in on HBO called The Nevers. It was his return to television. He's a great television writer. He's done Firefly, which I love. He's done Dollhouse. He's done Buffy, Angel. All of these shows were great shows. So anyways, I'm going to read to you guys this article. You guys tell me what you think. And if you think it's a bunch of bullshit too, because Ray Fisher is being allowed to destroy this man without a shred of evidence, and there's been nothing proven that he's done anything wrong to the cast and that he was this mean, overseeing force and he was forcing people to do all of this stuff. It's a complete nonsense and garbage. But anyways, I'm going to read this article. It says, Josh Whedon exits HBO's The Never. Justice League actor Ray Fisher points out the investigation, which hasn't come up with anything. But anyways, Josh Whedon is stepping away from his latest project, and actor Ray Fisher is taking indirect credit for the move. Josh Whedon has stepped down from the latest project of the upcoming HBO series The Nevers, effective immediately. Justice League actor Ray Fisher, however, is claiming a more sinister reason. Yes, because we never get tired of the victim card. Whedon was writing, directing, and executive producing The Nevers. HBO described the show as an epic sci-fi fiction drama about a gang of Victorian women who find themselves with unusual abilities, relentless enemies, and a mission that might change the world. So it's about the Josh Whedonist thing you could imagine. Despite Whedon's exit, HBO said through a spokesman that the studio remains excited about the future for The Nevers, and it looks forward to its summer premiere in 2020, which I won't be watching. Why Whedon left the series is where things get interesting. Though Whedon himself cites exhaustion in an official statement for his departure, actor Ray Fisher, whom Whedon directed in the 2017's Justice League, says the departure is a direct result of Warner Media's investigation of misconduct during the film of Justice League's original theatrical release. This year, of unprecedented challenges has impacted my life and perspective in ways I could never have imagined. And while developing and producing the Nevers has been a joyful experience, I realized that the level of commitment required moving forward, and combined with my physical challenges of making a huge show during a global pandemic, may be more than I can handle without the work beginning to suffer, Whedon said to Variety. I am genuinely exhausted. I am stepping back to marshal my energy towards my own life, which is also on the brink of exciting change. I am deeply proud of the work I have done, and I am grateful for the extraordinary cast collaboration on HBO show and an opportunity to shape a strange new world. Nevers is a true labor of love, but after 2+ years of labor, I've given all I can offer. It will never fade. Ray Fisher has responded saying, I have no intention of allowing Josh Whedon to use the old Hollywood tactics of exiting, stepping down, or walking away to cover up terrible behavior. Justice League might be the most drama-packed project to come out of Warner Brothers in decades. The film, originally directed by Zack Snyder, was set to be Warner Bros' own Avengers film. During the filming, Zack suffered a loss in the family, stepped away. Warner Bros. Moved ahead with the film, alleging with Snyder's blessing. The director, Josh Whedon, was at the helm. This movie felt like a pure studio meddling at the time. Snyder's DC movies suffered critically, and they weren't measuring up to the Marvel projects and profitable. And so Warner Bros. Took the opportunity to put the director of Marvel's Avengers in the captain's chair, hoping to save it. The movie failed critically and financially, leading to fans of Snyder to cry foul and do that ridiculous Snyder Cut, which is coming out on HBO Max. While the actors of the film generally been supportive of Snyder's work on the film, Fisher has been the greatest cheerleader and has continually gone to bat to not paint Snyder in a better light, but to push back on anyone involved with the film that isn't Zack Snyder. Fisher accused Warner Bros. Exec of racist behavior this fall, a move backed by Justice League co-star Jason Momoa directly through Fisher. Also directly called out Whedon, calling his treatment of the cast and crew abusive, unprofessional, completely unacceptable, while naming producers John Berg and Geoff Johns as enablers. So, after all of this, I have to say something. This is the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. Ray Fisher has not provided one scrap of proof to this abusive relationship, except for Jason Momoa coming out saying, yeah, it happened. Where's the proof? This is just like everybody else. At least in the Johnny Depp case, we have recordings, right? We have evidence, which Amber Heard, once again, I'd say, where's the proof? Where is the proof of these claims that these people come out with? It's like you could just say, hey, you're being racist, and automatically you systematically destroy a person's life. Now, I don't know if he stepped away from this project because he's getting heat. HBO is a very left-leaning type of station. I don't know if they said something. I'm not going to speculate. But I do find it weird that Ray Fisher puts up a big stink and all of a sudden he's stepping down from the project. And here's the stupidest thing. Ray, you're not a part of this project. What do you mean you're not going to do this old Hollywood tactic of stepping back and exiting? You haven't brought us a scrap of evidence to these outlandish claims that this man did anything abusive. And as far as the changes go, it's pretty well documented that WB came in and stepped into everything. And I'm not surprised considering they just removed Johnny Depp from Fantastic Beasts 3. So you're telling me it's beyond the realm of possibilities that the WB didn't tamper with the Justice League? They did. They've done it with every freaking project that they're a part of. That's what they do. And they're hailing like this new version's going to be greater. Look, I'd like to point out the part in the article that Zack Snyder's Justice League, his Batman versus Superman, and Man of Steel Most of them were not critically well received. Now, all of a sudden, they're being hailed as these great movies, and poor Josh has taken fire constantly for stepping into this role. Personally, if I was Whedon, I would have told them to go fuck themselves. He already got berated for Age of Ultron. Why go into another franchise where people don't appreciate your work? And to be fair, he did the original Avengers, which is why he did Age of Ultron as well. So if he's such a great guy, how did he do one of the best team up movies of all time? That fucking mystifies me. And if he's so abusive, why hasn't anybody else come out and talked about how bad and abusive he is? In Buffy, he worked with quite a diverse cast, and everyone who was on that show, and if he went to another show, they followed him. He had August St. Augustus, who was in Buffy, and he played a vampire, or no, he was an angel, and he was a African American gentleman who played a hunter in that, and then became friends with Angel and all that. I never heard him say anything about being abused. Sarah Michelle Gellar, never heard her say anything. Firefly, the movie, I never heard anything negative come from there. So I think Ray is full of shit. I can't prove it one way or the other. But I'm just saying, as a comic or a common logical thinker, I think this is a bunch of garbage. I think he's just mad because his scenes were cut from the movie, and this is a vindictive vendetta. And it's wrong and it's terrible. And it really upsets me that Jason Momoa throws his hat into this nonsense. Like, if you guys say this mistreatment happened, where's your proof? I mean, where's your evidence? Where's other people who can account for this? What about a random camera guy who may have heard him yell at you or something like that? There's nothing. There's no evidence. There's no proof whatsoever that this ever happened. And I think it's just another example of someone being sacrificed on the altar of agendas and politics once again. And it's disgusting and horrible. And I really feel bad for Josh because he's a great writer. He's done a lot of great shows. He's done iconic legacy shows. Buffy will go down in history as one of the most iconic shows. And that show within itself flipped the genre on its head. And, you know, it had empowering messages without being over the top with them. And it had compelling characters. And the male and the female leads were on equal ground. Firefly, that had compelling themes and was a great show. Dollhouse was a compelling show. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's nonsense. And this is another person who's right along the line of all of these other people who just step out of the shadows and want to out people because their career sucks. Ray, what have you done? What has Ray Fisher done that's of any note? Someone tell me, if you know a movie he's been in where he's this amazing actor, please let me know, because before Justice League, I had no clue who the hell this person was. Just like Ezra Miller, I knew none of these people. So, Ray, what did you do that makes you this great actor who deserves to have this awesome, fantastic role and was mistreated and cut out from the movie? Tara J says, at General Zod, 100% agree. You don't go through your whole life being a great person, then suddenly in your 50s become an abuser. I absolutely agree. I've watched the behind the scenes. I'm not too proud to admit. I own Buffy. I own them all. Sarah Michelle Gellar, if you ever break it off with Freddie Prinze, I'm just saying. Anyways, those shows, I've watched the behind the scenes. They have, like, you know, making episodes and things like that. I never seen a time where that cast and crew wasn't like family, where they weren't having fun, where the director wasn't joking with the cast, and you can see the camaraderie and how much love that they had. You can't make a good show without having people who mesh together. Look at Firefly. That was like a family of people, right? they've come out and said that cast was so tight, the personalities worked well together. They all played off each other great. And you can't have a person like that and you can't have this dictator and have that kind of chemistry. It'd fall apart. How does he attract all of these personalities that seem to gel well together? And then he comes in. He stepped into this project. Okay? And I'm sorry for any people who are Zack Snyder fans, but I think that script was a shit show to begin with. And he came in to try to fix things. And you know what? That was his mistake. He should have just said, this is a fucking mess. Let somebody else deal with it. I'll give you another example. The movie Solo. You had a great director step into that, and look at how that movie came out. You know, it's ridiculous. And the biggest thing is when these directors come on to take care of someone else's product, they get the heat. Zack Snyder is being hailed as this misunderstood guy, but do you guys remember Batman versus Superman? I'm sorry, that movie was garbage, okay? That was the worst portrayal of Lex Luthor ever, and someone can argue with me, oh, this is philosophical. No, that was not Lex Luthor. That was Jesse Eisenberg being eccentric. That was not Lex Luthor. I don't know. That was like the Social Network Lex Luthor. I don't know what the hell that was, okay? Batman mowed down people with a Gatling gun. And everyone's arguing, oh, it's a dark, gritty tone. It's from this comic and this. No, it's not. I've read the comics, okay? It was Zack Snyder wanting to do edgy and gritty and sacrificing story. But yet, now, in 2020, the Snyder Cut is being held as the holy grail. And it's going to change the world. It's going to make everything amazing. And Ray Fisher was mistreated, but here he's going to have a stronger role because we care about that shitty-looking cyborg. That cyborg, okay, watch Doom Patrol and tell me that thing in Justice League looks great. Because you're smoking some good shit and you need to pass it this way because that's not my cyborg. Teen Titans looks better than the Justice League cyborg. And you're telling me in that movie, Ray Fisher was terrible. Okay? He had one mode, and it was dark and brooding. My father died, and I killed him. I don't know what I am. Ugh. Okay? At least Batman had depth. Superman, Henry Cavill tried. Cyborg, I don't even remember. And Ezra Miller can go jump off of a cliff. I hate that version of the Flash. Okay? So don't tell me that this movie was great before Whedon stepped in. Whedon stepped in and tried to do what he did with Avengers, make it successful. And I'm sorry, there ain't enough ink and enough time to fix the shit show that was that. And I can't wait till this 4-hour waste of money comes out when I can review it and show you guys just how great this Snyder Cut would have been. They spent $80 million. I'm sorry, it's went up. It's like $100 million now. Wasted for this Snyder Cut on HBO Max when they could have brought 300 potentially good shows for the Vision. And you know the irony of this? They said, everyone I've argued with about this has said, 210 minutes! 210 minutes, and he's just adding some things. And then Zach comes out and says, I've only added 4 extra minutes of new content. You're full of shit, Snyder. You're full of shit. You're telling me you took $80 million to $100 million and you only made 4 scenes to add to your movie? Where the fuck did the rest of the money go, Zach? Where'd it go? How'd you get from 210 to a 4-hour miniseries? I mean, am I the only illogical person here? This is a joke. This Justice League thing is a joke. Ray Fisher is a joke. And I don't believe anything this clown says. I think that he's pissed off because his role was cut and he had more in that shitty cut. And he's mad at Josh for cutting him out of the movie. So he's going to play the racism card. And I think that is ridiculous. And geekicidal tendencies. I agree. I agree, Zach. Good for Zach. Good for Zach. Do you know what we call that? I come from New York originally, and you know what they call when you can get that much money and give this kind of they call that hustling. He straight up hustled them for this money. And you know what? Good for you, Zack Snyder. Thumbs up. You hustled the shit out of HBO. You hustled them. You got more money. I'm not knocking your game. What I'm knocking here is Ray Fisher. I think these are garbage claims. I don't think he has any talent whatsoever. I think his role was talentless. I've never seen him in any other movie, and will probably never see him in another movie. Although I will say I am looking forward to Deathstroke because I like the actor who plays him. But beyond that, I'll watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I'm curious. I'd like to see where 100 million went to and how different it is. But I think this is nonsense, and destroying Josh Whedon over claims you can't prove is ridiculous. Okay. A lot of people give this man hate, and they forget all of the great things and products that he's created and the legacy that he's made. And in nowhere in his career, and I followed him through every project, have I heard of him being racist or anything like that. He seems like a cool guy. Everybody loves working with him. And up until this point, that was the only person who's ever made a claim like this. Yes, thank you. I'm going to talk about this because Will Gentry brings this up. Ellen Page, Will, you got that wrong, is now Elliot Page. Fuck me. Ellen Page, and I love the Umbrella Academy, has gender swapped and wants to now be known as Elliot Page. First off, I want to say, how is this going to look for the Umbrella Club season 3? Because as far as I know, she's a she in the show. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the reason. This is the nonsense. Hollywood has nothing to cover, and these stars have nothing they're doing right now. So they have to do the most ridiculous, outlandish thing. Now, look, the sad part about this is, and I refuse to call her him by him's new name. Okay, Ellen Page has done great movies. She's a pretty good actress. She's done a lot of independent stuff. And when she was cast in the role of the Umbrella Academy, I was legitimately excited. And to be honest with you, that first season, she does a damn great job in that show. She's just spot on, very emotional. The second season was kind of but the first season, she puts a great acting effort into that role. And then does this. Why, Hollywood? Why? It's just... Well, I mean, I don't even know what to say. And Bonnie B, yeah, you can look up this article. I was gonna do a video on this, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. But that's where we're at, folks. Anyways, I wanted to read some articles. This is kind of what my morning show is gonna be. So if you like this and found it entertaining, tomorrow morning, right after I get off of third shift, so I should be really entertaining. At 7 o'clock, I'm going to be bringing up some other articles. I got some more Johnny Depp news. I got some Justin Timberlake news. Love me, JT. Don't judge me, okay? JT, he knows about those sexy backs. I'm just saying. Anyways, I got some news on JT and how yeah, I know. I can't wait to do a morning show. So I can't wait to bring you guys some of that news. JT did something extraordinary, and this shows just actors and artists who are just good-hearted people. And I don't like to be salty. I do like to have like a happy story here and there. So I'm gonna be doing that, and just hanging out with you guys, having a cup of coffee, trying to stay awake. It'll be a fantastic time. So join me tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the morning news with Zod. Bring a cup of coffee. We're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna talk to you guys and rap about this. I really appreciate everyone who's been in the chat. We've been up to like 20 people watching, so thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I'm really glad to see some like-minded individuals who really agree with the points that I brought up today. If you missed the show, go ahead and rewind it. I'm going to cut it off right here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're new, hit that like button. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, retweet. Let the interweb know about the master of all, General Zod, and my sexy, awesome cowboy hat. This is if Zod goes out west. So I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe grow the beard out longer, get a couple of ranch hands. Who knows? Maybe I'll shoot some farming videos. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Remember the only rule here in the fandom zone: kneel before General Zod.